with any luck, this video will never actually see the light of day. But on the off chance that things do not turn out the way that I think they're going to turn out today, I thought I would start recording this journey. Let me preface this by saying that whatever happens, I think I'm in a good place and I'm okay. Back in 2019, I had a prophylactic double mastectomy. I have an extremely high risk for having breast cancer, so we made the decision to reduce that risk greatly by having the prophylactic double mastectomy. And yeah, everything was going fine. I've had a really bad case of bronchitis the last like 6 weeks, and I finally actually wound up going to, well, let me back up a little bit. In July, I started having pain in my right armpit, and I went and I saw my oncologist. We did a physical exam. At that time, we thought, well, it's probably just a pulled tendon, because it wasn't real likely that anything would have grown since, had the double mastectomy. And it didn't really seem like it was maybe a lymph node. We really kind of thought it was just a pulled tendon and it'd be fine. But out of an abundance of caution and to give me peace of mind, she had ordered a ultrasound. Well, I talked myself out of the ultrasound because I got the cost estimate back for said ultrasound, and I decided my peace of mind wasn't worth that. If you're in America, you know that healthcare costs are crazy, and it was really one of those things where the risk is so minimal that this would turn out to be anything that I just said, well, it's just not worth that peace of mind. So I just went on about it, and I just treated it as if it was just a pulled tendon. Okay, so over the last 6 weeks or so, I have had the worst case of bronchitis. I mean, it has been awful. And so much so that I actually wound up in the ER this past Saturday. And they were concerned that maybe it wasn't bronchitis, maybe it was a pulmonary embolism, so they went ahead and ordered a CAT scan just to make sure of my chest and my head. They did everything, head and chest. Head turned out fine. When they did the chest CT, though, they noted that I had a grossly enlarged lymph node on my right side, the one I ignored. And so it turns out not a tendon. And so I had, sorry, my phone is shaky. Nerves. I apologize. So I still had the order for this ultrasound, so I was able to get in super quick. So that was Saturday. They found the enlarged lymph node on Saturday. On Tuesday at 7 a.m., I had an ultrasound to confirm. And it is a very suspicious lymph node. So it is enlarged. There's only one that is enlarged. They checked the left side. Left side is fine. Right side is not so fine. In fact, they really kind of think that this is probably going to turn out to be not so benign, although we're certainly hoping it's benign. So I am currently sitting outside. I'm going to be going in here in a few minutes. This is now Thursday. So remember, Saturday we did the CAT scan. Tuesday we did the ultrasound. It's Thursday. I'm having a biopsy this morning. I'm not gonna lie. I am okay. I am very nervous. I think that that's a reasonable position to be in. I hate that I made the decision that I made earlier a couple of months ago to forego the ultrasound, because I could have been further along with this. Like I could have known by now if this was something to be worried about or not. But you know, it is what it is. That ship has sailed. I hope that the next part of this video I film is me giving the results and me saying it is all going to be okay, and that it is totally benign, and that there's nothing to worry about, and that I'm fine. If not, consider this the kickoff to a new series called Jamie Kicks Cancer. I don't know. I don't know. At this point, I have to laugh. I mean, it's just been such a crazy whirlwind few days, and I've been so sick that I think that that's making it worse. I think my emotions are just getting the better of me, and that's quite possibly true. So we will see. You have to forgive the steroid face right now to get me over the bronchitis. They put me on massive doses of steroids, and I am just, I mean, oh my gosh, I'm looking at the screen right now, seeing how puffy I am, and I mean, that's probably the least of my concerns right now, but I don't know. I will, I gotta go in here and get this biopsy done, and if I feel up to it afterwards, I will add a little bit more to this video and kind of talk about the process. It'll still be a few days before I have the results in. They said, like 3 to 5 days, although I tend to think it's probably going to be a little bit faster. My doctor usually gets the results really quickly, so I don't know. We'll see. All right, wish me luck. That was not pleasant. Got the biopsy done, and so now we wait. So I'm gonna go home. I'm going to keep my ice packs on as I'm supposed to. I'm going to rest, relax as much as I can, stay on top of pain meds, do all of that. I can't lift anything heavier than like a pound for the next 3 days, so I'm not really sure how that's going to work out. But yeah, we should find out by the end of next week, because it's Thursday now, and they said 3 to 5 business days. So we should find out some results, you know, hopefully midweek, but definitely by the end of next week. So I'm gonna go home, rest, and I'm just going to try and put this out of my mind until the results come in, because otherwise I'm probably gonna drive myself a little crazy. Also, I'm probably gonna find some coffee, because I could definitely use some coffee right now. So it is November 18th, and at 1:05 today, I got my test results back in for my biopsy. It was not the test results that we were hoping for. We were hoping for the results to come back and say that I'm all clear. It's just a swollen lymph node, you know, probably have an infection somewhere in my body. We get over it, right? That is not what happened. I found out at 1:05 today that I have stage 4 metastatic breast cancer. Now understand, this is quite a surprise to me because 5 years ago, I had a bilateral mastectomy that was not nipple sparing. Took out all the breast tissue. Supposed to have taken out all the breast tissue. I did it because I was very high risk for breast cancer. Did reconstruction, did all of that. So imagine my surprise now when 5 years later, I have breast cancer, and not just any old breast cancer. Stage 4 metastatic breast cancer. Now, at this point, you are probably wondering, as am I, how did we get here? Excellent question. So there are two possibilities. One, during my original surgery, they missed some breast tissue somewhere. Nothing is ever 100%. When you're taking out tissue, it's not like, if you're taking out, say, a kidney, you know when you have the kidney out, right? With breast tissue, you do your very best. You scoop everything out that you could possibly get. But I knew going in that there was a chance that, a very small chance, but I knew going in that there was a chance that something could remain. But the prevailing thought was, at that point, you have so greatly reduced your risk, and I'm talking down to like 0.5% chance of this happening, that it's really nothing to be concerned about. Okay, so at that point, the benefits of having the surgery outweighed the risks, right, of not having the surgery. The other option is when they did the final pathology report post-surgery, maybe they missed some cells or something. We knew we had some problematic cells in there, but maybe they missed actual cancerous cells. I don't think that that's what happened. It's more likely that some tissue was left behind, and because I am such high risk, that I still got breast cancer. It is now like 10:30 at night, so I've had this information now for about 9.5 hours, and I think for probably about the first 4 hours, I cried more than I thought I would ever cry. I was angry, scared, upset, all the things. In fact, my poor husband, I even yelled at him because he wasn't angry enough with me. He and I just process things differently. Here's the deal. I serve a really big God. And this is not a surprise to him. It's a surprise to me, not a surprise to him. I have this evening the strangest peace that has come over me. Not so much that I think I'm going to be miraculously cured of an incurable form of cancer. More so that I'm just at peace. Now, don't get me wrong. That is not saying that I am not going to fight like hell to get through this, come out very safely on the other side, and live a very long, happy, and peaceful life. I promised my husband that I would grow old with him, sitting on our front porch, on an acreage somewhere, rocking in our rocking chairs, watching nature. And I fully intend to keep that promise. Oh gosh, I'm going to cry again. I also have a 10-year-old son that I would very much like to see grow up. So I am definitely in for the fight of my life and fight for my life. There will be a lot of prayer. I am sure a lot more tears. There will be a lot of probably scary moments, but I'm going to be okay. I fully intend to keep my promise to my husband. Now, I fully understand the risks going forward. Lord knows, my oncologist was very frank today, very loving, but very frank about odds. But I am a fighter. I will get through this with the help of my family, the help of my friends. I will build the village that I need to build to get through this. And I went back and forth with even sharing this online because it's kind of a big thing, right? Like huge. But if I can just help, if my story going forward can help even just one person get that ultrasound, get that mammogram, get checked out, and allow somebody to catch their possible cancers or their problems sooner and have a better chance of survival, then that's what I'm gonna do. If you remember from the very first part of this video, I made a choice not to get an ultrasound because of cost. My insurance wasn't going to pay that much for it, and it was a very expensive ultrasound. That was a choice I made. Would it have made a difference at this point? I don't know. It was probably metastatic back then. Maybe not. I don't know. If I had to do it over again, you know, obviously if I had a crystal ball or I could go back in a time machine, do it over again, I would probably have chosen, obviously, to get the ultrasound back then, and just deal with it. But, you know, I can't go back and I can't change the past. But if I can help just one person moving forward, then that's what I'm gonna do. So the next steps are to go somewhat, to go somewhat on a treasure hunt in my body. We know I have cancer. We know I have metastatic cancer. We know it originated somewhere. We know it's metastatic breast cancer. So we have to go find where in the breast it originated. And then from there, we have to find if it has spread anywhere else. You know, is it spread to my lungs or other organs or other lymph nodes? In the coming days, I am going to be having a MRI, a mammogram, a PET scan. And there was a fourth one. I don't remember what the fourth one is right now. And because I am such a not unique, but an unusual case, I am also being presented to the tumor board on Thursday. My case is, I'm not, but my case is being presented to the tumor board on Thursday to see if the greater minds can put their minds together and figure out where to go from here. I I don't know what this means for my channel. And I mean, obviously, if you've been around for a while, you know that I've had some health issues for the last year or so. And looking back, probably this is why. We checked the mental, we checked the neurological, we checked everything. We didn't check cancer. Go figure. But I know that I really want to post my journey when I can, when I feel up to it. Because again, if I can help just one person out there not go through this, not have to feel the feels, not have to face this, and especially at the holidays. Like, we're literally, what, 6 weeks from Christmas, right? Merry Christmas. We're like a week and a half from Thanksgiving. No, I guess 2 weeks from Thanksgiving at this point. So if we can, no, maybe a week. I don't know. We're close to Thanksgiving. I don't even know anymore. But if I can help just one person avoid this, then I will feel like this journey has not been in vain. So there are some things that I'm going to do. One, I'm going to start a playlist, and the playlist will have just my specific journey on it. Now, because I know that this is a very sensitive topic and not a topic that everybody on my channel will want to follow, I am going to try and minimize where I can on my regular videos, talking about this, referencing it. You're obviously going to see some signs of it. You know, if I go through chemo or when I go through chemo, if I lose all my hair, or you see me in caps or something like that. I mean, obviously there will be signs, but what I'm saying is I'm not going to make that the focus. Anything that is dealing specifically with this part of my journey, I'm going to put in a very specific playlist. That way you have the option to follow. If you don't want to follow, cool. If you don't want to follow, awesome. What I don't want to have happen is for the comments to become very sad. I am okay. I will be okay. I am okay. Like I said, I have a certain peace about me right now. I jokingly told my sister earlier that I put like the 5 stages of grief in a blender, blended them all up and went through them all at once in about a 30-minute time period. Well, actually it's about 4 hours. And now I'm done. We're done. We're moving on. Okay. Can't change anything, right? So we're moving on. I am not naive enough to think that I will not go back and revisit those stages, but it was just a funny, moment to put a little bit of levity in a very heavy situation. So I will be resuming my videos, especially my decluttering, because if I'm going to be going through this big life-changing monumental event, this house got to get decluttered and cleaned up, because I can't keep up with the house or expect other people to keep up with the house, because I know I'll have help, but I can't expect others to keep up with the house or me to keep up with the house if it is cluttered. And like, if you look behind me, this is kind of my kid's area. So he's got Legos and Play-Doh and stuff. That's fine. It's the main parts of the house that I want to make sure that I am on top of, especially if I have to have a caretaker come in and help me through some of the more arduous moments. So consider this my kickoff to, I guess I won't beat cancer because I have an incurable form, so I'll always have it, or at least they tell me, for the most part. I think there are some instances where it can become undetectable, but those are so few and far between. And that's usually if it's caught a lot earlier than mine was. So, but we will see. But consider this my kickoff for something. Now I just need a catchy name for it, you know, because I don't know. That just Jamie Kicks Cancer doesn't really seem catchy enough. But I will leave you with this. Over the last couple of months, even like long before I knew that this was even a remote possibility to happen, I have been feeling more at peace in my life in general. I think we talked about this the other day when we were sitting out on the back porch together. I did a live and we were sitting out on the back porch and we were talking about, you know, how I was feeling more at peace. I was feeling more settled. I don't know why that is. Maybe it was God preparing me to get ready to go through some hard times, right? And I'm sorry if you are not a believer, or if you are agnostic or atheist, I'm sorry, this is, you will hear God talked about frequently on this channel, just because it is a big part of my life. Now, again, do I expect some miracle cure? No. Do I expect to pray my way out of this? No. Will I be praying? Absolutely. But I'm not going to, you know, pray away the cancer. But, you know, life doesn't work that way. But I will be praying for wisdom and comfort and courage as I go through this. So I will leave you with this when I say that one of the songs that has really spoken to me over the last couple of months has been the one by Leanna Crawford, I think is who it's by, but it's her Psalm 23 song. If you have not heard it, I encourage you to go listen to it. It has really brought me comfort. And even today, I didn't even actively go out of my way to listen to it today, but after I got through the initial shock and the initial crying and the initial anger and I say initial because again, I fully expect all of that to come back in droves. That song has just kind of been on repeat in my brain. And maybe that's why I feel at peace, because I know that whatever happens, God's got this. Whatever happens, if I don't beat it, fine. If I do beat it, even better. But I know that none of this is a surprise to God. And again, I'm not expecting to pray away my cancer or anything like that, but I am expecting to draw strength from my faith. And so that is where we stand right now. And yeah, so I am not going to commit to a filming schedule for obvious reasons. I know that, so this is the 18th when I'm filming this part of the video. So just to kind of catch up, November 9th was the day that we found on a CT the grossly enlarged lymph node. That was a Saturday. That following Tuesday, I had, which was the 12th, I had a ultrasound. On the 14th, I had a biopsy. And now here on the 18th is when I've gotten the results. There's still some tests left to come back, but obviously the biggest test came back. So we know on a big scale what I'm dealing with. Now we have to get it down to a micro scale so that we know what treatments will work best and so on and so forth. So I need all the positive vibes, prayers, rahs, hoorays. Yeah, I don't know. I need all the positivity I can get, because I'm not going to lie, it is going to be a very tough coming months. And, you know, I intend to film where I can. I'm not going to film the obviously less glamorous parts of it, but I intend to film where I can, because even if I don't make it through this, again, if I can just help one person, that's all that matters to me. If I can just help one person avoid this, it's worth it. So, all right, this has drug on for long enough. I love you guys, and I will see you soon. Bye. So it is December 4th? 4th? Yeah, 4th. Sorry, I don't even know what day it is anymore. And I realized it's been a while since I've given you an update. Sorry, I just got out of the shower not too long ago and decided to let my hair dry. So if it looks a little strange, that's why. I mean, my hair always looks strange. Anyway, okay, so here's where we're at. I have completed all the testing that they've thrown at me so far. I have my surgery scheduled for this coming Friday, which is December 6th. And we were unfortunately not able to find the primary, so we don't know where the cancer originated. So depending on the outcome of the surgery on Friday, I will either just have radiation or I will have chemo and radiation. It really depends on what they find when they get in there on Friday. So on Friday, they are going to remove the lymph nodes, a lot of the lymph nodes, not all of the lymph nodes, but a lot of the lymph nodes on the right side, which comes with its own set of problems. But then they'll do the pathology on those, and then that'll be what determines if I have to do chemo and radiation or just radiation. We know for sure I'll be doing radiation. It's just a matter of will I be doing both or not. I'm having some hard days. Part of it is just the sheer everything is exhausting. I mean, having to keep up with appointments and learn all these new terms and deal with a whole new care team, and everything is just exhausting. In fact, I'm going to be getting ready to go to my pre-op appointment today to do the blood work, do all the registration, sign papers, everything. I was able to go up to Oklahoma for a few days over Thanksgiving and at least see our son. He is spending a lot of time up there with Grammy and Papa right now while I am going through all of this, because obviously he doesn't know what's going on. And because my husband is accompanying me to as many of these doctor's appointments as possible and tests as possible, it was just easier to have him up there rather than just keep trying to find random babysitters, because we don't have a dedicated babysitter. So rather than having to find babysitters, we just went this route. So this is so shaky. I should have put you on a tripod. I'm sorry. Anyway, so radiation will kick off. If I do radiation will, if I don't have to do chemotherapy, let me qualify that. Radiation will kick off mid-January. And they said for the first few, I really shouldn't feel the effects. They said, but after the first few radiation treatments, I would probably start feeling some of the yuckier side effects to radiation. So more tired, because I'm not a candidate for the internal radiation, because we don't know where the primary is. So it can't be like a specifically targeted. They are literally going to do radiation across my chest, which carries some significant risks. So we are just going to try and figure all of this out. But I wanted to pop on and do a quick update. Again, I don't know that I will ever post these, but this is my journey, and I wanted to have a record of what I was going through. One, to show myself in the hard moments that I can be strong. And two, just as a record. I don't know. Maybe this is the stupidest thing I've ever done, but we shall see. All right. Peace out. Love you guys. See you soon.